Okay, so today is January 30th. It's the last trading day of the month, and I did not do good. I think I did do good, but the price action was not great. Um, so it was actually a pretty easy day developing my bias, looking at the pre-market. We sweep Asian session low, and then we get manipulation to the upside. We had Asian session high, um, and then we had this hourly high up there, and we did have a few other highs, but I wasn't looking at them because they were a little too far away. So I was looking on ES, and I was like, okay, if I took a long on ES, this would be my take profit, and um, let me, is this, okay, I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, and then going on to NASDAQ, same thing, we sweep Asian session low, we get manipulation to the upside, and then we had Asian session high up here, and this hourly high up there, and then we had um, Asian session low, this hourly low, and then we had this low all the way over here, but that's way too far away, you know, there's not going to be a breakout that big. Price, market opened um, at 9:30, right? We opened right here, so going up to this high up there, that hourly high would be way too big of a move. Same thing with going to this low. So for the take profits for the day, for a long, it would be this right here, this hourly high and the Asian session high, and then if I took a short, it would be London low or this hourly low. Same thing on ES. So the markets were really good. I thought maybe ES could maybe come up here to this hourly high, maybe, um, but that did not happen. So same thing on the sell side though. It was Asian session low and then the hourly low, the daily low from yesterday session, and then we have that low down there, which is a little too far away, you know. Uh, and then looking at the higher time frame, because that's something else I do. Outside of the Asian session liquidity sweep, Asian session low liquidity sweep, there wasn't any other lows taken out. The market has been in like a pretty good bull run in the past couple sessions, and then yesterday we get a really good sell-off, big retracement, but that didn't really take out much liquidity except these two 4-hour lows, right? We didn't get down here. If we got down there, that would be a little bit better, right? But we didn't. And then looking at NASDAQ, it's the same thing. We missed that low. We took out these lows, that low. Cool. We make a really good retrace. Awesome. Um, and we broke 4-hour structure to the downside. So, but that's not always super relevant to developing my bias. It also matters about other things that I saw. And looking at the 1 hour, after we hit Asian session low and this low over here, we broke 1 hour structure to the upside. So that was a really clean reversal that I saw happening. And I was expecting, and this is the same thing on ES, right? We had that 1 hour break of structure right here after we hit Asian session low. I was hoping when market came and to open at 9:30, we would continue this trend and come up here, right, to hit this high. Maybe I thought ES could get up to that other hourly high, and then of course I was hoping NASDAQ would also follow and continue this reversal and hit these highs. Scaling down to like the 5 minute, it was really clean, right? Market opens, we were bullish on the 5 minute, right? We did get a liquidity sweep, um, right here at 925. I think ES had a better liquidity sweep though. No, it didn't. But we had really clean price action. And when I saw at 9:40 price was up here, I wanted to take a long. So I was pretty much waiting to just get a retrace, get an entry, right? So I had my equilibrium marked out, right? We had this gap down there as well. Going on to NASDAQ. NASDAQ, I actually wanted to take this trade on NASDAQ because I thought we were a little bit closer to those highs on NASDAQ. Looked a little bit better, cleaner. So I was actually favoring NASDAQ. And looking at this, at 9:45, this black candle, we get a retracement into this 5-minute uptrend. We hit equilibrium. Really awesome, right? And we also filled in this gap, right? Well, going down to the 1-minute, going on NASDAQ, which is what I took it on. Going down on the 1-minute, we had this retracement, and then we come up and we get this 1-minute break of structure. Really awesome. Technically, we never broke structure to the downside, right? All we had was an inverse fair value gap to the downside. We didn't actually break structure, but I still wanted to see that bullish order flow, and I did with this candle right here. And we also had a 79% extension on this too. So the 1-minute break of structure was really nice, and this was going to be my trade, right? Clearly, this did not hit take profit. We end up coming down and getting liquidated, which really sucks. I mean, sometimes that happens, right? And it wasn't like we were too far away from this take profit. Looking at the volume and stuff, it looked like this could be a pretty clean breakout. But we get stopped out, right, pretty instantly, and we end up actually... Oh, no, we don't. I thought we took out that low, but we didn't, right? But on ES, we actually did take out this 930 low, you know. So we did have a slight SMT, bullish SMT, and yeah. So sorry. So we hit that, and I'm like, I'm like, crap. I just lost money. What am I gonna do? So I was a little upset about that because I had a really clean bias, and there was some other things I saw. For example, like the 1-hour gap. We filled in this 1-hour gap, right? So the fact that we were coming back into it, like, to me, I was just feeling really good. So about going up. Okay, but getting back to my second trade, because I took 2 trades. So looking at the 1-minute, I was on NASDAQ when I was looking at this. All of a sudden, I see, I get stopped out, and then I'm like, oh crap, we get a break of structure to the upside at 10:05, right? And I'm like, what do? I get stopped out, all this 1-minute liquidity is taken, my bias is still super clean, right? We did have a 5-minute break of structure to this debt sell side though, so that was something I did see. We were bearish on the 5-minute, but then I see this candle break above this high, and I'm like, I think we have to be going up. And I was like so confident that, like, hey, I want to get in this trade. So I'm like, okay, I get in as soon as I can, right? Because I got in at a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, because that's like the least willing, that's the risk reward ratio I'm willing to take, right? So once I had that 1 to 2, I was like in it, and this was my stop loss, and yeah, this trade ended up getting stopped out as well, which was was really disappointing. The second trade was a little stupid because we were bearish on the 5 minute when I took it, right? But I just was feeling so good about my bias. Um, all in all, this month was actually really good. I mean, this day was a little disappointing. Wednesday, I could have took a trade, but I didn't. That was because I wasn't even really looking at the price action. My computer crashed. I wasn't thrilled with the price action to begin with, but I actually could have shorted ES on Wednesday, but I didn't. If I did that, I would have, I think, got a 1 to 2 reward ratio. So, but it's not so bad. I still did better than I wanted to this month, right? Than I am willing, like I still did, I still came above the very minimum that I want to see in my trading, if that makes sense. So it was still a really good month. But yeah, this trading day really sucked. And I don't know. I mean, price action was really bad. We moved sideways constantly, and then we get stopped out, and then it looks like it's gonna go back up again, and then it comes back down. So really, just annoying. Um, but it's not so bad. Uh, I can show you. This is all the back testing I've done. Um, but this is the trading month. So this is actually what I could have done if I had took a trade on Wednesday, which I didn't. But this is what I ended up getting without the trade on Wednesday. So it's not so bad. We did lose a lot of money though. We lost $1,000 today. So if we didn't have that loss, we would have only had lost 2,000 on this entire month, right? And then this is of all the winning trades I made. This is how much money I made. So combine this together, right? I made 2,000, which is good, but I still lost quite a bit of money, which is kind of disappointing. Because if I didn't take any of these trades and I was left with just this, I could be up almost 6,000 bucks or 7,000 if I took that short on Wednesday, which I didn't do. So, there's some things I want to reflect and think about, right? Um, but it's okay. I mean, there were things I did really good this month, and I think there were a few other things I should have done a little bit better. But all in all, I think this month I grew as a day trader, and I actually refined my strategy a little bit. I improved the way I think and stuff. So, and some of these days that I lost money on were really good days, like with really good biases and stuff. So, it's just the thing that comes with being a day trader. Expect to lose money, right? Because that happens to the best of us. Like, you're going to lose money. So, not so bad though. It is a little sad that you know I did have so many losing trades, right? If I had lost 500 bucks, but I made 2,000, I'd be pretty okay with that. But I lost almost as much as I made, if that makes sense. Not really, but yeah, I don't know. Could have been better, I think. It's still really good though, and I just kind of like, I always beat myself up about day trading. If I don't absolutely shadow it, I always get cautious, like, oh, am I actually good? Or maybe I'm actually bad, I don't know. And then when I'm doing really good, I'm like, oh, is this luck? So I'm always like second guessing myself, my capability with day trading. So I'm trying to be happy because this is pretty good, right? I made money, right? So I mean, I that's pretty amazing. So I'm trying to be happy. I am happy. So just a little bummed with how today went. If today was better, if I didn't lose money today, I would be really happy with the month, I think. because you would see 2,000 instead of 3,000, which looks pretty bad. But you can't look at your day trading capability in just 1 month. You have to look at it in months, right? You can't just let 1 month to decide, like, okay, because this is what I got on January, this is what I'm gonna get next month. Next month could be worse, next month could be better. And what I want to see in the P&L at the very least is 2,000 or around 2,000. So I came well above 2,000 on the P&L. But from what I could have had, it could have been a lot more. So I feel like I did limit myself. And Wednesday, I should have took that trade. I think if I was actually trading on Wednesday, I would have saw that trade and took it. And if I did that, I actually think I would feel a lot better. But and look at that one trade. From it makes $1,000 difference. So that it really shows you like how skin and teeth. I guess is that a saying? Skin and tight, whatever. I don't know. That day trading really is. It's not like, oh, you can take a couple losses and you'll still be filthy rich. Like, no, it can be pretty tight depending on what strategy you're using and stuff. You don't want a big, you don't want a bunch of days in the month where you're like, oh, oh crap, I could have done better. I could have done this different. You don't want that, right? Because you'll see you're gonna lose and miss out on a lot of money, potential money you could make and stuff, and you don't want that to happen. So there's a lot that comes with day trading and stuff. And I also plan on back testing this month to make sure the trades I took made sense and stuff, and there wasn't any dumb trades I took. I expect to stand firm on all of these trades when I back test. Like, I expect maybe to do a little bit better, if anything. I think when I back test January, I'll actually maybe see a few more trades I could have took. I don't know, and I don't think I'm gonna film that, right? But it's something. If you're trying to learn how to day trade, you should consider back testing live sessions, see what you could have done differently, or if you stand firm on everything you want. Because I want to be a perfectionist, so everything I do, I want to be able to like understand why I did it. So when Monday comes to day trade, I know what I want to do. Like, I don't want to be a day trader and I see a setup and I'm like, do I take it? Do I not? I want to be like, this is what I want. I see this setup and I'm taking it. Or maybe I'm like, I see this setup, but there's other things that I see, so I'm not gonna take it. Like, I want to be like quick to decision making, because you can't wait 5 minutes after you see an entry for a trade, because likely you're not gonna be able to get that entry and be able to take the trade, right? Because your risk reward might go from like 1 to 3 to 1 to 1.5 or something, So you have to be quick when making your decisions and stuff. So, yeah. But that was my trading day today. I lost $1,000 on 2 separate trades, both to the upside on NASDAQ. Both of them got stopped out. Crazy day, and now the market's coming all the way down here. So, ugh. And there's also other things I thought about doing with evolving my day trading strategy. I haven't really thought too much about it, but I don't know. Trading is one of those things that you never stop learning from, and you never stop worrying and getting anxiety from it, So, yeah. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully, we'll see how Monday goes, right? But I think next week will be good. Maybe. We have a lot of news next week. We have like tons of news. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have news at 10. So I'm not going to be able to trade until after 10. And by the time that happens, I might not even want to take a trade. There might be no setups. So we have a lot of news next week. So I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll keep you guys updated. So